Hey guys, and welcome to Stencil Me Pretty's very first live stenciling video. I'm super excited about today's video because I think it's really important to show the real-time process of stenciling a wall, because usually I'm posting these 15-second videos that are really sped up to show the whole entire process. And obviously it takes longer than 15 seconds to stencil a wall. So we are just gonna get into that because it's something that you should know and see before you jump into it at home and try it yourself. So yep, that's what we're going to do today. So let's start with our color palette that we're using. Our base color is Midnight Bayou. These colors are all from Valspar, by the way. So we have Midnight Bayou, and then we have 3 Olive Martini and Peaceful Slumber. So that is our color palette we're working with today, and I really think it looks super nice together. And we are just going to start with our stenciling. We have our dense foam roller with minimal paint on it, which is always best for no bleed through. And we are using our ice diamond pattern stencil. When we're using this ice diamond pattern stencil, I'm honestly just ignoring these shapes just to get a much more cleaner look, as you can see over here. And for our look, I have the colors going completely diagonal. So we have the green here, and we're starting with the green. So we're gonna go in a diagonal pattern and start stenciling up here. And you really just want to use some light pressure, because the more pressure and more paint you use, the more bleed through is going to happen. And then we're going to go get our blue, our light blue color. We got our light blue color on our dense foam roller. And then we're going to, the middle section I have using both colors in it. So it's a little technical kind of look, but it's worth it in the end. And then we have that, and then I just like to put this on the ground and wipe off some of that paint that I just put onto the stencil. And then it's time to line up our registration marks again. So we're just gonna come down here and line it up just with all those shapes. And you just want to make sure you take your time with this, because the first time you kind of mess up the registration marks, it could like mess up the rest of your look. So you really want to make sure that the registration marks are perfectly in place. Now we're going to go back in with our light blue color and go diagonal up here. And then it goes by really quick with this stencil, because the shapes on it are just so small. So this is honestly a really good stencil to start off with if you've never stenciled a wall before. Because just like that, I've already done 2 stencils. Going on to my third. And it would go by even quicker if you were just using a single color as well. But I think using multiple colors in a look just really adds a lot more interest. So we're gonna go in with our green. Oh, I messed that up a little bit, that's okay. I can go over that with the blue. And when you mess up in stenciling, it's really okay. It's not the end of the world, because my stencil's still there. This is supposed to be blue, I made it green, but now I'm just gonna make it blue again. And if you ever have any bleed through, all you have to do is pick up your base color. So I would pick up that navy blue and then just go over it, and the mistake would be gone and everything would be fine. So there we go, another one. And you gotta line it up. I'm just gonna pour a little more paint out because I ran out. Because I usually just put a little bit of paint out at a time because I don't want to waste my paint, because you really don't need that much paint in stenciling at all. So just gonna add a little more as I need it. And then I'm gonna go in with my blue color up here. And another thing that you want to make sure you do is you're not rushing, because when you rush, that's when most of the mistakes happen. There we go. And I'm just going to take my stencil down here and wipe off some of that excess paint again. And put it back up, realign my registration marks. And even right now, my registration marks are a tiny bit off, but it's so small that like the human eye would not be able to recognize that, so I don't get too worried about it. Because after all, this is a hand-painted wall, so obviously it can't be as perfect as if you were to buy some wallpaper or something like that. Now I'm gonna get my blue. And also, if you're doing a multicolored look, if you're just starting out, I'd say picking like 2 colors would be the easiest, because when like even more than 2 colors gets involved, it may get a little tricky. So starting off simple is always easier, I think. And there we go. And this one's a little high. I don't have my ladder near me. Okay, it's time for the blue again. And since I'm using 2 different colors, I like having 2 different rollers on me, because then it makes it easier for the colors not to mix up. So that's definitely always a good thing to have if you have multiple colors. All right, so we have that row done of what I can reach without my ladder. And I just also wanted to talk about another stencil that could give a really similar look. So this is the Ice Diamond pattern stencil, and obviously it has these shapes that I'm ignoring, but see this shape right here? This is the Falling Leaf pattern, which has also those very similar shapes with a bigger one in the middle. I've done another wall look with this that came out a little similar to this, but this is obviously a smaller size stencil, so the pattern was more concentrated. But that is the Falling Leaf pattern, so that's another option that can give a really similar look. I think that wraps up today's little not time-lapsed video, because usually I'm posting those really fast videos which aren't really believable, because it's just to show the whole process. But it does take much more time to do a whole entire wall, especially if you have a larger wall. So if you guys are interested, oh, my stencil fell. If you guys are interested in purchasing the ice diamond stencil. You guys can go check it out at stencilmepretty.com. We're always posting our new projects on our Instagram, so you guys make sure to check those out too. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I know I enjoyed it too.